are live. Welcome to the United Show. It's Nathan Ellington here once again. We've got Kieran coming back soon. And today it's the Manchester Derby. So that's the theme for today. And we have Kevin Parker, who's going to tell us all about the city side, the blue side of Manchester today. How you doing, Kevin?
I'm very, very good. When you say the blue side of Manchester, that Manchester is blue totally these days, Nathan, as you well know.
I know very, very well. I remember growing up and, it was all red Cantona and everything. And we used to take the mick out of you guys. And now tables have turned completely. So, we just got to eat humble pie at the moment and, kind of humble ourselves looking at you guys play your great football. But of late, what I can say is you guys have you've won your games, but you've had a little bit of a struggle up until late on in some of the games recently, haven't you? So what are you thinking going into the Man United derby on Sunday?
Listen, I think my view on this game on Sunday will probably be the same as when we talked about the derby at Old Trafford earlier this season. Form sort of goes out the window, of course. And in fact, United's record at the Etihad over the last few seasons has been very good. Despite the fact that, Pep's been in and we've been winning trophies for fun and scoring goals for fun, when United have turned up at the Etihad, they've got the results. 2-0 last season from memory. United got that very early penalty. As far back as the 3-2, when we were winning 2-0 to go on and win the title, and United came back and won the game 3-2. It just proves that derby games, irrespective of where they are, whether it's Manchester or Glasgow or Liverpool, you can't really just go off form. I think nerves do come into it to a certain extent. Players are lifted a little bit, probably to a certain extent. United will probably want to come. It's a difficult one for United to a certain extent.
Yeah.
United will want to come to City to put a dent in their title challenge, but they'll also know that if they do that, they give Liverpool an upper hand as well. So it's not a very comfortable situation for United supporters to be in, I think, this weekend.
Yeah, to be fair, it's a struggle, but end of the day, I think we're just concentrating on that top 4 position now, what we can do for this season, and that's even looking very difficult. We've got too many games in hand. Arsenal have got now. It's theirs to lose, and we've just got to hope things could, fortunes would change. But when it comes to playing against City, for me, I was thinking, man, we've got no chance, just because of the way you guys played. But I'm starting to feel a little bit more confident, but not very confident, not overconfident at all. I'm a little bit more confident. Reason being is because we are playing better football, but we are playing better football. That's one thing. But you guys are not playing as free-flowing as you have been of recent weeks, even though you've been winning. So I'm starting to feel a bit like it may not be so far apart as I'm thinking. I think you guys will still win, but I just think it's not going to be a batteration like you did at Old Trafford. It was like men versus babies, not even men versus boys. It was men versus babies at Old Trafford. So, I just don't want a repeat of that. We need to make it a competitive game. So that's my side of the story with that.
I think, if we can pick up on the form we had probably 3 weeks ago, we could make it very tough for United, I think. Hopefully United will come into this game with the same sort of performance they showed against Watford. As a starting point, that'll do me, to be honest with you. And I don't think, and I agree with you to a certain extent, our form has dipped a little bit, but I also don't think that United played great against Atletico Madrid. Got a good result, by the way.
Not at all.
But
not at all.
So I think both teams are a little bit off where they would like to be. So it's a difficult one to call. But I think, as I said when we talked about this game back early in the season, I think if we play our strongest team available, and from what you can see, most of our players are fit, and we play to the best of our ability, United are going to have to raise their level a bit, I think, to get something from the game.
Yeah, of course. That's what I mean. It's like I'm just hoping. I'm not very confident we're going to get much from this. And if we even get a draw, I'm happy. At this moment in time, I never thought I would say it against City, but I am happy if we get a draw at this moment in time. And I'm hoping the few things that have been rumoured in the news, which we will get onto later, do happen in the game. I'm going to talk about it later, so I'm not going to ruin it now. But right now, we're going to cover a few things that are happening at City. You know, what are your thoughts on Grealish at the moment? Because I know he's scored a great goal the other day, but he's not been playing. He's a 100 million player, and he's been a bit part player. What do you think the manager's doing with him, or what do you think about him and himself? Is he what you thought he was? What do you think?
Well, I think he's playing a slightly different role under Pep. I mean, Pep has played him quite a lot this season, to be fair. He has been injured for a little while, so he's been out for about 3 weeks with an injury prior to the Peterborough game. And I'm surprised, really, that Pep has probably played him as much as he had. Pep has got this habit of bringing players into the club, irrespective of where they've come from and what their reputation is and how much they've paid for them. And they don't, Pep very, very rarely puts a player straight into the team, because it takes quite a while, I think, for players to pick up the way that Pep wants them to play. In terms of his performance, in terms of his performances, I don't think they've been too bad, actually. But what they probably haven't been is the type of performance that we saw when he was at Villa. I think there are slightly different reasons for that. One, I think he's playing a different role than he did at Villa. And secondly, he's not getting as much of the ball as he did at Villa. I think when he was at Villa, all the Villa players got the ball and they were probably thinking, give it Jack, give it Jack, give it Jack. Whereas at City, there are so many different options. So have I been, am I disappointed in him? No. But has he been amazing? No.
Yeah, I agree. He just asked to do a lot more at Villa, and that's why you saw more of him. It's simple as that. He's playing in a team full of superstars, and anyone can do something special at any time. So he's got to keep it simple when it's not on, and then when he gets on it, he's got to do his bit, and he's just got to get used to that change of doing everything to doing not as much, if you get what I mean. And you've seen it with the other the likes of, like I said, Mahrez and Foden and them guys. They were in and out at the beginning. Now they're playing. Even Sterling, he's got, he didn't play straight away. Then he's come in and then he was on fire. Then he come off the boil a bit. Then he was on the bench. So you guys have got a wealth of talent anyway. So, you can afford to do that, can't you? Bringing £100 million player and sit him on the bench. That's all that matters. But that's fine. So then you've got City sitting top of the league again without a striker. I just can't believe it. Again, you've not got a striker in. What's going on? I don't understand. Is that top of your list? Do you think that's top of Pep's list for next season, or what? Or is he just going to continue this way?
Is it top of Pep's list? That's a difficult one to answer, to be honest with you. Because Pep, when the media do ask him the question about, on the odd occasion that we don't play particularly well or that we don't win a game, the media will come in and say, well, if you'd have taken the chances that you created, you might have won that game and therefore you should have had a striker. But the number of goals we've scored this season, the number of chances we've created, and listen, if you're a top quality footballer, it doesn't really matter, I don't think, whether you are a centre forward or a talented footballer. Some of the chances that we create and don't score shouldn't just be down to the fact that we haven't got a striker. But I think you ask most City fans, if we ended up winning the league this season again without a striker, most City fans will still say to you, we still need to sign a striker, because I think it's down to, as a supporter, you want to have that figurehead at the front of your attack, don't you? When Aguero was there, they absolutely adored Aguero, and even when Jesus came in, and I think he's a very good footballer. Jesus, he's not an out and out goal scorer, whereas Sergio, you would never ever bet against him scoring a goal from a 50-50 chance, probably slightly less than that as well. So a top quality striker surely has to be the target for City in the summer.
Yeah, well, here's a question that's connected with Man United as well, because obviously Man United show let's kind of connect them through two together. Cristiano Ronaldo, he was coming in pre-season. Obviously, that's what they were saying. He was coming in just before the season started, and we managed to take him. But what do you think he would have done for you guys? Because I think what he's doing for us is still okay, but just not enough for what we need in our team. But if he was in you guys' team, I think he would have just gone on to another level because the chances would have been dropping like mad compared to us. I think he would have done double what he's doing now at the moment. What do you think?
Yeah, I think he would have been slightly different. I think Pep would have got something more out of him than Ole managed to, and certainly more than Rangnick has managed to, because he's a different sort of coach. I think Pep. I think you have to work a little bit harder. But maybe Ronaldo might have been able to work a little bit harder at City, because I think if he was going to come to City, I think Pep would have said, "Listen, don't come here thinking that you're going to be starting every game," because the way that City rotate their team on a regular basis, not even the best players in the world, Kevin De Bruyne, Bernardo Silva, Raheem Sterling, not even they get, games after game after game. So I think if Ronaldo had gone to City, I think he would have been told, you'll play on a regular basis, but you won't play every game. And actually, if he didn't play every game, he'd be a bit fresher and maybe would be more able to work a little bit harder. And I don't think there's any doubt, to be fair, about his ability to put the ball in the back of the net. So I think he would have been a different player for City. But am I particularly disappointed that we didn't get him? No, for two reasons. One, it doesn't really look like we need him. And two, it's nice to see him from a City perspective actually falling apart at United.
You know what? I was so buzzy when he first came in. I was thinking he still had everything that he has. What I remember of him. Obviously, he's going to, at 36, you're not going to have everything that you used to have. And the goals have been great for us, but I think it's been a bit detrimental to what we were working towards. It wasn't in the makeup of our team, of how we're looking to play now. For you guys, it would have been perfect setup. But for us, for me, it's like, man, he's good, but he's not right for us. Like, he's not right for us for what we need. I think we need like youth and pace in that kind of positions now. And he's not young anymore. That's just the reality of it. And we're gonna have to deal with it the rest of this season. And hopefully you can go move on to somewhere else, and then obviously we can kick on. But not to say that I'm not happy that he's here. It's just that we just don't have the right tools. I know what it's like. I'm watching the team, and there's just not the right tools in too many areas of the pitch. So that's what I believe anyway. But let's take a look at some of these bits here. We've got Lauren saying, "I definitely have faith our players will be much more up for this." Same here, Lauren. United, like I say, they're coming better. They're getting better in terms of the way they're playing, creating chances. And we just need to finish our chances now. And that's the difference. At the moment, if we're going to play you guys and we get one chance, if we don't score that one chance, I'm telling you, Man City are going to score on the other end. So we need to sort something out. But how do you think it's going to play out then this Sunday? What do you think will happen? How do you think the game's going to play? Obviously, every game plays a bit differently. And I don't think it'll be anything like the Old Trafford one. But let's see. What do you think?
Well, listen, I think the one thing that Solskjaer managed to do when he played City, when United played City, they used to play on the break a lot, didn't they? They used to use the pace that they had in terms of Rashford and Greenwood, and actually we know for different reasons that those players are not available at the moment. I think that is one of the things that actually in this derby might sort of work against United. They've not got that pace in the team. I think Sancho has shown a little bit, but then also flattered to deceive at other times. They've certainly got the ability, I think, with Fernandes in terms of having somebody who's got the ability to play that ball through should somebody make the right runs. But again, going back to Ronaldo, he's not going to get City on the break, is he? He's not going to catch us on the break. And they are the games at which United were very successful at the Etihad under Solskjaer.
Yeah.
You know, they played it tight. They pressured City, and every time City got the ball, they were virtually, 9 men behind the ball. But as soon as United had the ball, they were away. And if you look at the goals that they scored against us, I can't see. And I don't watch United all the time. I watch them as little as I possibly can, obviously. But I can't see that they've got that makeup in the current team to be able to play like that against us. It will be defensive. I think they will come on the basis that they don't want to lose and try and nick it. I would be amazed if he came and decided to have a go, because in the current situation, if United play and have a go, because if you look at it slightly differently, when United played Leeds a couple of weeks ago, and United went into a 2-0 lead, and they sort of relaxed a little bit. Leeds got them, and even at 2-2, I think United were wobbling a bit actually for 5 minutes. And strangely enough, Rangnick made a couple of defensive substitutions that worked out for him, and Fred came on as a defensive player and scored the goal. I don't know how it's going to pan out, but I have a feeling that United will come with quite a defensive lineup. And actually, just thinking about Ronaldo, I might not be surprised if he doesn't start that game on Sunday.
Exactly what I was thinking. We'll see what happens on that side. We've got diddy saying Bruno, Sancho, Pogba, Ronaldo should be scoring more goals, in my opinion. 100% agreed. These guys over the last, I don't know how many games we've had so many chances. Like, I can't remember how many it was, but it's a ridiculous amount of chances and only like 3 goals. It's just the worst record for any level of the game. Even like grassroots football, having that amount of clear-cut chances and scoring that amount, it's just it's criminal. And if we do that against City, no. If we do that against City, we are in big, big trouble. You know what? I never thought I'd say this, but it's like Dan James was the kind of guy that you guys would struggle against in these kind of games, because we'd sit back, his pace one side, Rash's pace the other side, and even Lingard making his runs. Everyone was just live wires and troubling the defenders. I remember the left back. What was his name now? Remember the Spanish left back? Or is he at Leipzig? Is he at Leipzig? The defender you guys had?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm trying to think his name's gone for me now as well. But yeah, I know what you mean. He's at Leipzig, yeah.
Yeah, he's a good player for them, actually. He battered us in the Champions League, I remember. But he gave him a torrid time. And then they're the games that Rashford will do better, because it's impulse. It's just running and not having to think too much, and you've got lots of grass to run into. That's what we need to get back to. The only thing I'm wondering what he's going to do at the back. That's the question. Is he going to put
Maguire with
Lindelof? I really hope he sticks with Lindelof and Varane, because they look very comfortable. That's for all our play that we missed chances. We look comfortable. We didn't give them a sniff. I know City are a different kettle of fish, but we didn't give Watford a sniff in the whole game. They pretty much had one chance, and it was like a half chance in the whole game. So that made me feel better. And he did go with, all out attack. He's thinking, you know what? I need goals. I'm bringing on another attacking player. So I hope that he's Rangnick, isn't he? So he knows what he's doing. I can see that. It's just a case of I think it's too early to play against you guys. We're not at them levels where we're ready to beat you guys. But this is me as a United supporter saying that we're probably going to lose. I'm just being real. I'm just being honest.
Hopefully they won't quite be ready on Sunday, but they'll be ready when they go to Anfield in a few weeks. That's what I'm hoping.
Well, that's what I mean. It's getting tight up there, isn't it? It's getting real tight up there. Yeah. And Lauren has said we were talking about Angelino. That's his name. Angelino. He got torn apart that time. And I was just wondering, why did he play him? You got Zinchenko, you got Cancelo, and he was playing him. And why is he not playing Walker at the moment? I don't get that one. But
well, no, he
maybe
was
it's because
suspended.
it's a
He was suspended against Peterborough, wasn't he? He was actually suspended in that. So, listen, I think Walker will play on. I think Walker will play against United. Cancelo will play on the other side. The only thing we're not sure is whether it's going to be Diaz and Laporte, or Diaz and Stones, or Laporte and Stones. It's for a slightly different reasons, but I still don't think they've quite worked out which the best combination is there. I mean, I suppose it just highlights how good all three of those are individually. I think it's just a case of finding the right balance between. I think he'll go Laporte and Diaz. That is what I would think he would go for.
Yeah, I think that's his most. I think that's his go-to defense, isn't it? The main defenders there. Stones is still good. He can always do a job. He's proved it all last season and this season. To be fair, it don't matter who you pick out of those three. You guys are going to be solid at the back. To be fair.
Well, I don't know whether you probably are superstitious with being a former player, but John Stones has started 9 Premier League games for City this season. In the 9 that he started, City haven't conceded a goal. So, maybe Pep might like the old superstitious, but well, that just shows you that how difficult that is to pick the right. But I think you've got to go with your strongest fullbacks, who are Cancelo and Walker, definitely for me, and then pick 2 of the 3 of the centre backs, and that would be at the moment Laporte and Diaz. But it's a tough call. It could be Stones and Diaz, but I'd have Diaz in there, I think.
Yeah, and you've got Conor Lomas saying, let's face it, Nathan getting smashed 4-0. I don't agree with that. I don't think that's going to happen. But anyway, we have Kieran coming in right now. Let's add him to the stream.
Yes, how you doing, guys?
Good to see you.
I have to say, it's been the most civil I've seen Kevin and Nathan on a pod. I know.
We were waiting for you, Kieran.
I know. Do you know what? You wanted the referee, didn't you? I was about to come in and say, let's get ready to rumble, but it sounds like you two are best friends right now. I don't know what's going on. Do you know there's a derby on Sunday?
Well, to be fair, Nathan has made it very easy for me, hasn't he? Let's be honest. He knows the score, that boy.
He's not biting back at the moment. I know he's docile. He's got his paws up and he's on his back. I don't like it, Nathan.
He's hurting me.
No.
Listen, he's hurting me, but I know when to sit down and relax. Right now, it's time to sit down and relax. I ain't got nothing that I can say that's going to make me not look stupid. So let me just relax for a bit. Right?
Nathan, it's not down to you making you look stupid. It will be down to Man United. And I'm sure in this derby, like they did against Leeds, they're going to give a little bit more because it's going to mean a little bit of something to them. Surely.
I'm not listening to you again after that Liverpool game where you said the exact same thing. And I was like, yeah, we're going to win. And then
I am known as the hype guy. I'm here to hype people up. All right. So, have you picked your key? Who do you think, Kevin? Who do you think will be the key man come Sunday, to unlock, destroy, humiliate Man United potentially? Who do you think that's going to be?
Well, okay, I think it could be one of 2, to be honest with you. Well, one of 3. I mean, and how blessed are we? It will either be Kevin De Bruyne, Bernardo Silva, or Phil Foden. Any 3 of them, I think, as Foden showed the other day with the pass. It's only Peterborough, I accept that, but that pass that he makes to Grealish is not about who he's playing. It's about the ability to know that pass. He knows he's good enough to make that pass, and he also knows that there's going to be somebody who's going to get on the end of that. So I think Foden, De Bruyne, or for me, Bernardo Silva, any of those 3 will be key. And if all 3 of them are on it, that's the time that you should probably start to worry a little bit, I think.
Mm-hmm. No, definitely. Do you feel that, Nathan? Do you feel that some players lack that self-belief that Kevin's talking about with De Bruyne and potentially that pass the other day? Like, if Man United players, they can do it. They can, maybe not on De Bruyne level, but they can do these passes. But we've spoken many times about the likes of Scott McTominay going for the easy option with the pass when there is potential passes that he can make going through.
Well, look, McTominay is definitely not one that can do that. I think Pogba and Bruno can play them balls, especially Pogba. But we have to have someone on the end of them. And that's the difference right now. For me, we just need to have the right players on the pitch in the right positions. I've been thinking about different changes here and there. I've seen a few bits in the newspapers that I've been reading. I'm just hoping we get to see certain changes, and that will bring a bit more fluidity to us. And then you might get the chances, the goals that we're seeing. We don't have many options, as you know. We've got players out on loan and everything, so we don't have much to choose from. But we still have something there if we can get them all ticking correctly. We will cause Man City some trouble if we line up correctly. I've got it in my mind what I think we need to do. But you're right. But it's like I say, that the things are changing. We are looking better. We're now creating chances. We just didn't score. Like everything but the goal last week. We need everything and the goals to beat Man City. Goals, not goals. Because we know they're going to get a goal. We need to have goals.
100%. It's not going to be a 1-0 like I think it was a couple of seasons ago, and they sort of let off a little bit. It seemed like I think they're going to go all guns blazing. Kevin, do you feel like the league's yours? You feel like it's there? You still want to get
over the line? It's in our control, which is the most important thing. Do I think that the league is done and dusted? No, absolutely not. That would be a failure to recognise, and I hate to say it, that would be a failure to recognise how good a team Liverpool are. You know, their current form is very, very good.
Yeah.
So there's, but it is in our hands. You know, we are, even with their game in hand, we would be 3 points clear. We've still got to play them at the Etihad. I would rather be playing that game at the Etihad than playing it at Anfield, of course. 100%. We've just got to be confident about our own ability. We can't do anything. I think we have to work on the basis that if Liverpool have got 10 games left, I can't remember, but let's say they've got 10 games left, we have to work on the basis that they're going to win 9 of them. We're not going to hope they're going to win at the Etihad, because that would really put a spanner in the works. But we have to work on the basis they're going to win 9 of their 10 games and make sure that we respond accordingly. Are we capable of that? Absolutely, we're capable of that. You know, we had the one blip, of course, has been the game against Spurs when, a bit like our bogey team, when I think City played okay that day, but certainly Spurs worked them out. We dropped 2 points, of course, at Southampton where we got a draw, but it's a game we should have won that. You were going back to before, Nathan, about games you played and created chances. So the Southampton performance itself didn't disappoint me. Of course, dropping 2 points was disappointing. But against Spurs, we just didn't. I was going to say we didn't turn up. That's not true, because I think we played okay, but we allowed Spurs to play the game that they wanted to play, and that was why we lost it. And there's no way that you can be scoring an equalising goal in the 92nd minute of a game and still losing. That's criminal. That, to be honest with you, it was a game at 92 minutes when there was 5 minutes injury time. I'm thinking, if anybody's winning this, we are. You know, so, but no, it's going to be tight all the way through. As far as up to the game against, if we're still in the same position when we play Liverpool at the Etihad, that's the key game, obviously, because if we could then beat them and go 6 points clear of them and there be no games in hand, that's going to be tough. Although I read a stat today, 2014, you know, Liverpool were 7 points clear of City with 3 games to go. City had 2 games in hand, and of course City still went on to win the league, so anything is possible. I just hope not this season.
Definitely. And who have you been most impressed with so far for City?
I think some players have had great seasons, to be honest with you. Cancelo has been magnificent.
He's a great player.
Again, Cancelo's been Bernardo Silva, I talked about before. Phil just gets better and better and better, doesn't he, to be honest? Rodri's got his critics somehow at City. I don't know how, but he's solid. You know, And he's not bad as a keeper at times as well.
No, we won't speak about Rodri. He crushed Arsenal's hearts in the last minute. So we'll move on from that. Nathan, give us your score prediction for the game.
You know, I feel like we're probably going to lose it 2 or 3-1. I've got a feeling we're probably going to lose this game 2 or 3-1. I think we're going to go out there. We're going to try and do bits, but we're just not going to create enough chances. We're going to create maybe one chance throughout the whole game. We'll get a goal, but I think they'll have too much. They'll create too much, and we just probably won't have enough to defend it. To be able to keep a clean sheet. Who does? Not many teams do have enough to keep a clean sheet against City. And we are looking a bit stronger defensively, but again, we need to be that team that sits deep and then counter-attacks. So it all depends who he picks. I've got a feeling he won't do what I'm thinking. So that's why I think we'll probably lose the game. We might have a chance of winning on the counter if he picked what I was thinking. But yeah, I think it'll be 2 or 3-1 to City this time.
All right. So Nathan's gone for a 3-1 loss to Manchester City. Kevin, what's your score prediction for the game?
Well, obviously, I'm going to go for a 3-1 win to United. Oh, hell. Listen, it's always difficult to... I'm no good at predicting scores, to be honest with you. But again, if we turn up on the day and play to the best of our ability, we'll win the game. It doesn't matter how good... United at their best cannot beat City at their best. So
that's frightening. That's frightening to hear, isn't it? Like even
it's true, isn't it? That's
true.
Liverpool as well. It's Liverpool and City at the moment.
Yeah,
those two are way ahead of everyone. To be fair, so we need to catch up. We need to catch up. But
it's going to take years, like for any teams to catch up on Liverpool and City.
So I'm confident of a City win, but I won't give you a particular scoreline. But I'm confident of a City win.
All right. Kevin, thank you very much for joining us tonight. Absolute pleasure every time you're on.
Thanks very much for inviting me. I hope both of you have a lousy weekend.
I love that. I love how you're so honest. And that's why I love getting you on the show. Like, it's brilliant.
Okay, guys. Really great to speak.
Love it. Thanks, Kevin. Thanks,
Kevin. Take care.
Cheerio.
Speak soon.
Bye-bye.
All right. I'm sure everyone has heard the news of a possible new... Well, we had Jamie Jackson on a week ago, and he said two first options, Erik ten Hag and Mauricio Pochettino. But it's come to light this morning, I think it was, that it looks like Ten Hag is possibly the main first choice. I've read a little bit into it more, and I think that it caveats off the back of Leonardo turning around and saying he wants to keep Mauricio Pochettino at PSG, and we all know Manchester United didn't want to pay the compensation for Pochettino. I think part of well, it's not part of the reason, but an addition to why Man United may have wanted Pochettino is that it was looking like PSG were going to get Zidane in as a replacement for him, but it seems the relationship with Pochettino and Leonardo is mended a bit. But it's funny how everywhere, I don't know what it was like at Southampton, but the last two jobs Pochettino's had seems to be the owners or the chief execs are not dishing out too much money, and two, they're loggerheads all the time. So maybe Ten Hag is the man. Nathan, what was your thoughts on when you first heard about Ten Hag and the news that he could possibly be the new Manchester United manager come the end of the season?
Look, it was always going to be one of those two that I didn't mind either of those two because they're both very successful managers. Simple as that. It's just Ten Hag I don't know as much about as I do with Poch. But when you look at it, he's done very well in the Champions League. He's done very well with lesser players. He's winning the league every year pretty much in Holland. And he's got very, very good players that just keep getting churned out and they keep coming through with all these flair players and everyone keeps taking them and somehow they still got more reserves. I don't understand. So if he can do that he can do it with us. And the other side is he's not he's not too old, so he's got like lots of time in terms of, not retiring soon. But the other side, I don't think he'll be as under pressure as Poch would be to win something instantly, like coming in straight away, win it. No, everyone knows that he builds teams. Everyone knows that he goes into the youth team and picks players, brings them through. Whoever needs to play, who can play, I'm going to bring them through and let them play. So we're going to take some time to get that system in. And especially if Ragnick's saying, bring him in, I think it's a good partnership, to be fair. Even though I think Poch would have been good as well.
Yeah.
I think it's probably a longer term appointment and something that could be for this next generation. We had the old Alex for all that time while I was growing up, and then bang, he's gone. Can we have Ten Hag for a long time now? Give him a chance to play and do things, bring his way in. We know what he's done in the past. He can do it again. If he could continue churning out unknowns to become known, he can do it. I'm telling you, he can do it. And I'm happy with what I'm hearing. Anyway, either way, like I said, either way would have been good. And I'm happy with Ten Hag.
Yeah, no. It seems like that was not just. There's a lot of Man United fans, a lot of football fans that want Erik ten Hag as their manager, but it seems like that was the voice of Ralph Rangnick, that was his first option for manager. And if that is the case, it makes more sense if he is going upstairs and he wants this guy as his manager, that there's a little bit of a connection there, surely already.
Definitely should be. And obviously they're similar in the way they want to play as well. And the types of players, I guess, when you talk about what his ideals are, Rangnick, his ideals are rock and roll football, what he says, and high press and young players, exuberance and all that stuff. That's exactly what you're seeing in Ajax today. Like, they're continually playing like that. So, because, like I say, it seems like a match made in heaven. Let's hope that they can both, get on like a house on fire and pick the right players, be happy with the same players that they both want to go for, whatever, and let's just make it happen. Make it happen and make United good again. Make United great again.
Yeah, not just good. Well, Ten Hag is currently, he's won 2 Eredivisie titles. He's currently sitting top of the league, and he's only conceded 7 goals in 24 games, scoring a mammoth 71 goals. I mean,
ridiculous.
I don't matter really what league you're in, unless you're playing Sunday League down at the Duck and Swan. Yeah, like that's impressive.
That's unbelievable. It's not only unbelievable, but like he's got the West Ham striker banging plenty goals as well.
Yeah.
Tadic. Sebastian Haller is just banging. So
Davy Klaassen, like the names that I keep, Daley Blind, the names that I'm hearing, and they're not. It's harsh to say they're not. Like, I don't even want to say the word. They're not rejects. They weren't players that ultimately shone in the Premier League. Klaassen was okay. Tadic was pretty good. Haller was very inconsistent. But he's got them ticking. Daley Blind, as we spoke about on the top signings after Sir Alex, everyone said was a very good player, very underrated. So I'm sure you'll be excited to hear potentially some of the signings that could come in. 2 of the names, one of them we've definitely heard about and spoken on the show. That's Ryan. I've been corrected. Gravenberch, apparently, and
Gravenberch, mate. Gravenberch.
Yeah, we're in England, mate. Ryan Gravenberch. It's Ryan Gravenberch and Anthony of Brazil. Have you seen much of these 2 players?
I've seen a bit of Anthony. As soon as I saw that name, I went online and was checking out what he's.
Anyone with one name is worth looking up.
He's a baller. He's one of the old style Brazilians.
Yeah.
And they said he's like Neymar. Looking at him, I'm like, oh my gosh, what are you doing on the pitch? What are you doing? Round the corners, flicks over their heads, dinks over players' feet, and he's something else, mate. He's something else. He's got imagination, and I'm happy to see that we are linked with someone like that. A young boy coming through. It's like one of them ones that, what is it, Ziyech? Ziyech just come out of nowhere and he went to Chelsea. This will be another one. He'll be another one who comes out of nowhere and goes somewhere, and I hope it's United. Just hope it's United. Gravenberch, I have no idea. I don't know how to say his name properly. But end of the day, I'm hearing he's a good player, central defensive midfielder. I think he's central midfielder. I heard he's a very, very good player.
He's class. Nathan,
Yeah.
this kid is, when we talk about Rolls Royce of midfielders, this kid's it. You got to watch him. He glides around the pitch, and he's been doing it since he was like 17. I think he's I don't know if he's still the youngest, but he was the youngest ever player to come through Ajax, and that was the person he took that record from was Clarence Seedorf, and he sits in central midfield as well. So,
wowzers.
Do you know what I mean? He can score goals. He can create. The only problem I would say is potentially his mentality, but he's shown in the years since he was a youngster to now that that's not been a problem. So I can't see that being an issue. It was a problem when he was a youth, playing too much computer games. So his mum and dad were saying, but they're always going to say that. However, since then he's matured quite a lot, and he's realising his potential. So. Yeah, if you can get someone like that in,
why not? These two boys seem, and if they're from his own team, do what David Moyes did. You know, I come for Everton. I want an Everton player. Let me bring him in. You know, he brought in Fellaini. Well, bring Anthony and Gravenberch with you, please, if you want. Bring him with you.
Well, I know there's talk that De Ligt is potentially going to. You're like, who's this Dutch guy that I'm sitting opposite? That it could potentially be going to Barcelona, but any chance you'd like to take, or you think there might be a chance that with the connection of Ten Hag that a player like De Ligt could do well at Man United?
Yeah, I don't get why not. He isn't particularly quick, but he's probably positionally and decision making and all that stuff. Obviously, I would say I'd expect him to do, be a better player than what we have at the moment in Maguire. And it'd be an upgrade. But again, I want to see some pace at the back. I want to see ability to defend one-on-one with pace. But again, look, if Ten Hag thinks he's good enough and he brings in these players who are playing that kind of football, go ahead, be my guest. Do whatever you want to do. Just bring in players of quality that are going to bring us some excitement to watch on the telly. That's all I want, some excitement. Because this is what you're missing, isn't it? When you're watching football, you want to be excited and watching the game. Oh my gosh, did you see that? Did you see that? Oh my gosh, what a little skill. What this, what that. That's how we want to be coming away from games. Even, when Newcastle were playing, they didn't have to win the league. Okay, winning the league was great, would have been great. But at the end of the day, the football they were playing, the fans must have been loving it. Absolutely loving it. And then obviously, unlucky, lost the game. Unlucky you didn't get to beat United. But that's United. But all I want to do is love the football game again. I don't want to be bored watching matches. That's what we all pay our money for. Please bring back some good stuff. That's all I know.
Yeah, and it wasn't just United. It was the likes of Liverpool, those games, Leeds, those games. Yeah, no, I totally agree. And to add more fuel to the fire, Ten Hag is apparently learning English as well.
Love it.
So
he's coming. He's coming. He's coming. He's coming.
It's done deal. It's done deal. I can see your face. Woo! So potentially with the likes of if let's just say that if Ten Hag does come in and bring in an Anthony and Ryan Gravenberch, Rashford, where's he sit? Because we can't really say that he's going to be on that. Because once you get settled and your manager's got a settled team, he's not going to be putting Sancho on the left, Sancho on the right, putting in. Do you know what I mean? He's going to want a settled team, and he's going to want players in those positions. Rashford, is he the man to be the number 9? Is he good enough to be the number 9?
Right. Here's something I've said since day one. Since day one, Rashford is a number 9. And a lot of people said, no, disagreed with me. He's the best on the left and all this. But he's not. He's not a left winger. He doesn't beat players easily. You go and look at his history. when he was at his best, I know from what I remember, when he come through, he was up front. He was scoring goals for fun. He was hanging off the last man, pretty much like a Vardy, but just so much more dangerous than a Vardy. Needed more chances than Vardy to score goals, but still scored goals for fun. This guy is danger as the last man. Don't have much to think about, much to do. You just get him on the last man, making runs in behind, and you find him. He is a goal machine, and he will get back to world levels. If he stays on the left, I'm telling you, he ain't got enough in the locker to drop shoulders and look at players' balance and where their feet, where they're moving and take them off. And even when he did have his purple patches, I looked at the goals. I was watching the goals, even when he was doing well, and I was thinking, yeah, but you know what? That can't be sustained. It's the type of goals you score. It's like a long shot against Tottenham at home, I remember. The keeper kind of let it in. Then he scored another shot, which was something else. And you're like, yeah, they don't normally go in. So I know you've got, 2-3 goals in this last 3 games and stuff, but that could have easily been no goals in 3 games. And people are saying it's amazing off the left. The reality is he's a forward. I'm telling you now, I know my strikers, I know my stuff. He's not a hold-up, man. He's not going to hold the ball up for you.
On the shoulder.
Yeah, no, is Cristiano going to hold the ball up for you? They're not saying he's not a striker, are they? Rashford, yeah. Get him going that way. Get him going that way. All he has to do is, last man, see you later. Pogba, put me in. See you later, Bruno, put me in. And he'll score. We all know once he gets through, it's a goal. And he's got pace to burn. But if he's got pace to burn off the left, he's no Robin. You have to have a different understanding of the game on the wings. And you see what he's like on the right. It's like he can't move or he can't do anything on the right. He will get back to his best playing in number 9. And what I would like to see, this is what I've been waiting to say. I'd like to see Cristiano drop to the bench and Rashford go up front. Sancho on the left, Elanga on the right. Let's see what we can do attacking with that. I believe you can bring Cristiano on when Rashford gets tired or is not playing well. Get him on then. Like, please stop playing Cristiano every single game 90 minutes. He hasn't got the legs for it no more. Rashford has. Let's get some pace back in this team and some goal-scoring madness. That's the only way we're going to do what we're doing with this current crop. I think that's going to get the best out of United.
And players like Elanga, who look really, really good against Watford in patches. Just his energy, his tenacity, and his drive forward was kept Man United going. It was sort of a lead by example kind of performance I saw him play. You think he'd thrive under a Ten Hag, and who potentially else do you see coming through with a manager who likes to bring through youth players?
Yeah, you could possibly see Hannibal coming through. Hannibal, he could be one. We've got a few defenders. Obviously, we've got the Mengi who could come through at the back. He looks very strong. I've only seen him 1 game. And then you've got the right back as well. So I can't remember his name now. I think he's on loan, isn't he? Right back on loan. What's his name? Help me out here, comments. I can't remember. But yeah, we have a right back that is very good. And his name's gone out of my head. But yeah, we have Hannibal, right back, and Mengi, who I would really like to see come through and do bits. And then I just want to see the rest of the boys who come back on loan. Let's see how they do from loan. So let's see how Van der Beek can do. He's been doing okay. He's been doing well. And then you've got Martial, who hopefully will get fit again before the end of the season and continue his good start with in Spain as well. So yeah, we'll see. But we still need obviously quite a few players in these positions. But yeah, we're it's looking up, and even there, sometimes you think you got no options, and then you think that player could play that position, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh yeah, why did I think of that before? But guess who else has been doing a job? Matic. Matic has come back in, playing like a beast centre defensive midfielder, because he's the only player in the team that knows how to play that position properly. And guess how good it looked when Lindelof and Varane were behind him? It looked great, because if he got overran, he didn't get overran by Lindelof. Lindelof and Varane didn't get overran as well, because that's what happens when you've got a team that can defend pretty much a bit faster to get back. So I know it'd be even better in terms of defensively with Bailly, but I guess on the ball, I think Lindelof's a bit better on the ball. Like, distribution is a bit better as well. So that's what you would lose slightly by playing Bailly over Lindelof. But I'd still play Bailly over Lindelof. So anyway.
All right. So defenders, not Brandon Williams.
No, it's the right back. Brandon's left back.
Yeah, he is.
I know he can play right as well.
Layard.
Ethan Laird. That's
him.
The one.
There we
Ethan
go.
Laird.
There we
That's
go.
The one.
Top researcher in the
There
background, making it happen.
That's why he's all quiet. Oh,
yeah, I'm like that. Act natural.
Lovely.
So it's looking like it's looking like you may get your wish come true. Harry Maguire out, and Manuel Akanji is potentially a player that who's been banned around. The right sort of fit for Man United. Maybe it's not the player that you will get, but is he the right sort of fit?
Look, when you've got a Varane in there, you just need a competent second man, don't you? Look at Van Dijk. He's got a competent player in Matip. You've got, I guess, City have got, the two boys, Diaz and Laporte and Stones. But it's like Diaz is the main man and the other two are slightly less. And this is what you do with United. But you need to be totally competent to be able to handle Champions League football and stuff. And Akanji, I've not seen much of him. I've seen him on FIFA, got good stats on there. So if he's anything to go by on FIFA, he'll be a good player.
No FIFA, Euros. Right. He looks good in the Euros, to be fair. He looks good in the Euros.
So yeah, he's okay. But the thing is, I see Dortmund getting whooped pretty much quite often recently. And if he's in the side, I don't know what's happening there. So I have to take a look and see who's at fault for the goals and see if he's someone that I'd like to see coming in or not. But I'm obviously happy to see that we are looking at a central defender as well to come in and be even stronger. We need to have more strength about us so we don't get beaten up by these other teams, that try and take advantage of our weak points.
Yeah, no, definitely. And you mentioned earlier about you feel like Ten Hag will get a little bit more time to settle than potentially a Pochettino. How important is it that Man United don't get on to Ten Hag's back if he is the manager and he comes in? How important is it that they give him time to settle in, get his squad in, and put his spin on the team?
Look, he needs to have time because look, everybody has not been given a lot of time, have they? If they do something wrong, you're out. You do something, you're out. But and some managers, that they wasn't gonna be there for long anyway. Jose don't stick around for long. I think Van Gaal would have been around for long, but they got rid of him prematurely. Silly move. And then you have Moyes. He wasn't going to be around for long. He got shipped quickly. And then you've got who else came in after that? No, and then Ollie's come in after Jose. He was given a bit of time. He was given quite a bit of time and given a bit of money. And then they just thought, you know what, time's up, mate. But he didn't have the credibility behind him to give him even more time and players. But with Ten Hag, he's churned out team after team now. We know he knows a player. We know he knows how to put players together that can play the football that he wants. So if he gets the time to get those players together, that's all that he needs. And then once he's got his players, let's see how he can do. So you got to give him time to get them in, because you got to get people out then in. And then you got maybe the next season, you got to get more people out then in. Then he's definitely got his team that he wants. Once you've got that, then you give him a season and say, right, let's see what you got. And then you don't even say, listen, you're out straight away. You got to analyze everything. Was it his fault? Was it the players? Did we get injuries? Did certain things happen where, is a goal that shouldn't have been a goal, where he got knocked out of a cup or something? So every single thing matters. You have to analyze it properly and understand, did he really fail, or is he actually improving us? Are we moving to where we want to be? And he needs to be given time. Get his way of football in.
And what's the most important thing that he would bring to Man United?
It's that feeling of he's done it before. He's made whole teams. He's brought in teams. And Sir Alex, what was he about? He was about having a team that was killing it and then going, you know what? I'm going to have to get rid of you soon. Yap, see ya. Nistelrooy, see ya. Still at the top of your game, but you've only got a year or two left in you. So if I keep you another year or two, I ain't getting nothing for you. But at the same time, that revolving door, right, who's coming in? This man's coming in. Right, you're coming. Oh, my days, he's got Rooney. Oh, my days, he's got Berber. Oh, my days, he's brought in Van P. Oh, my days, he's brought in you know, like you're seeing all these players coming in and the big boys are going. But then there's always someone new. What's Ten Hag been doing? Big boys are going, like plenty of them. Just see you later, De Jong. Blind even when he's come back. You've got, like you say, Ziyech, De Ligt, everybody. See you later, get off. Next minute, they're still at the top. And they're absolutely killing it in Champions League. It's not like the Champions League getting whooped and going into Europa. They're in the Champions League. They battered people. So you can't say, oh, it's only, you know, the Dutch league. Simply put, the guy knows what he's doing. And he knows that he'll have to adjust to English football. But at the same time, he's done it. So when he's struggling, people will go, yeah, but he's done it. He needs more time. So it'll automatically get more time to do that. And like I say, he doesn't seem to move around a lot, does he? So it's another thing where you think, right, this is now the perfect man. We've got Rangnick, the perfect man up top, upstairs, perfect man downstairs. Let's now get the perfect players and let's get this going and let's get ourselves closer to the Liverpools and Cities now. Otherwise, what's the point? You can't keep changing it. You can't bring him in. He gets 3/4 of his players in, and then you change him, and then that player wants all his players. It's no point. You're not getting anywhere.
Yeah.
So you've got to place your hat somewhere, and I think this is a very good place to place it, considering what's around, what the manager's done, and what he can give to United. That stability, that long term, that ability to bring in the right players and make the right setup of players, and not all superstars. They don't have to be all superstars. He's going to bring unknowns through the youth. He's going to do what Van Gaal was doing. I think Van Gaal was doing a similar job, mate. I don't think I just think he needed time to bring in his type of players, and we would have absolutely become one of the best teams in Europe because we already could play that great football with pretty much a dead squad. We had a dead squad keeping the ball 75% of the ball, but just not able to score goals because we didn't have all the pieces of the puzzle yet. But man, he did a job. I don't know what's wrong with people, but anyway.
Yeah. Well, Ten Hag, as you said, he's not really moved around too much. He was at PSV Eindhoven as assistant manager. He went on to Go Ahead Eagles. Was a manager at FC Bayern Munich, the second team. Then he went on to FC Utrecht, where he got them to the playoffs and they nearly got European football, got them to a final of the Dutch Cup, but they lost 2-1 to Feyenoord, which then got him the job at Ajax. So he's gone up the ladder. He's gone team by team, like step by step. And his final step could be potentially at Man United. As you said, a young manager, working with some top talent at Ajax, which he could potentially bring to Man United himself. I think the most important thing is that he has the right structure above. How important is it to make sure Man United make that transition from Ajax easier by making sure he has a similar structure at Man United with Ralph Rangnick and whoever else they get in?
Yes, it's very important, and that's the whole thing. You know, Overmars ended up leaving, didn't he? So he's got and you have the keeper Van der Sar who was there. He is there still, isn't he? So hopefully you can prize him over with him. Just take everyone with him, you know. And, you never know, but you know you want to kind of replicate what you've had. And you always stick with what you notice with these managers. They always stick with their staff. they're back with staff and stuff. So
Yeah.
when he comes, you expect to see some of his boys come, and they're going to be moving house, looking for houses near me as well. So we're going to see them in my nearest Costa.
Yeah, so we're going to be getting some exclusives because we're going to have Nathan hanging out, like pretending he's reading a book, watching out for potential Man United signings.
Hey, in the last month, I've seen Hargreaves walking in Sainsbury's, actually looking around the aisles. I've seen Wan-Bissaka, like I said, and then I saw Schmeichel, Casper, and Peter in my Tesco. So I was like,
well, you need to be seeing some new players. Nathan. You know, Tesco's is the place to be.
Crazy.
100%.
Absolutely crazy.
All right. That is all we have time for. We've got the Super Sunday clash against Manchester City at 4:30 on Sunday. So you can join us straight after the game at 6:30 for the post-match reaction show and the player ratings. As I always say, make sure you smash that like and subscribe button. If you're watching on Facebook, change your settings so we can see who you are and join in the chat. Thank you very much for coming on tonight, Kevin Parker, the head of the Manchester City supporters group. And of course, thanks for joining us tonight, Nathan Editon.
Thanks a lot. Thanks for joining us, Kieran.
Yeah. Train strikes, tube strikes. Where's the scabs when you need them? Huh? The ones going against it. Yeah? Where are you this time? Huh? Nowhere to be seen, but it's all good. You've got your own thing. Don't worry about us, people. All right. Yeah.
Good.
Thank you for joining us, people. Peace out. Stay safe. And wash your hands.